Hello and welcome. Today I want to give you a brief overview of the effects of the geometric objects on matter or of chemical structures. Here in my example you see the jar in front of me in the middle, and some of you might recognize this. This is the rinsed produce of the Ormus. So those of you familiar with Ormus, you know that the white bit on the bottom is a cookie and above is a clear water which needs to be rinsed for the additional filter process. So I want to show you, first of all, I want to show you the strange phenomena which happens actually, how Ormus is then acting in this glass. So we go into macro photography, we go close to samples you will see happening here on a wall on this glass. And I will show you, as said before, the crystallization effect I see here of the Ormus. So the first thing I noticed after the fourth day is that there are dendrites forming on the inside of the wall of the Ormus, and they're quite organic, like it is alive. It's moving around, and the more days are passing, the stronger it becomes. It actually covers the whole jar of the Ormus produced inside on the wall. It's quite hard, like it's a crystallization which is dendritic in nature, and I would say it's organic, it's alive. So I want to show you some of the crystals now under the microscope, which gives you some additional insight of this phenomena. Here you see an example of the Ormus, and you see these little crystals which are long elongated, bit oval, and then you see other structures which are then formed into different kind of patterns, and I will zoom in on some of them to show you that in a second. But that is technically, this is currently a tried version of the Ormus. It's very fine, it's milky in the structure, it has a structure of white powder layer. I would have to go very, very deep down to show you the crystallization of that, but what I think is remarkable is to show you here this forms on this side. So in a higher resolution you can see here now this pattern, it forms, it aligns itself like modules, and bear in mind this has been tried under the influence of a pyramid array and structure. And let me go to some other bits and pieces. So this is quite interesting here. They seem to be two-dimensional, but they're not. And when I find another one, then I'll show you the three-dimensional property of it. So that looks quite nice here. I found others which are even more remarkable when I see them. Let's have a look. Here, slightly on the left side above, you see this form I was talking about. It is three-dimensional. It means it has a, let me zoom in and out, you can see that. So it has on the top layer, you see it has this structure, and if you go below. It comes down to that structure. So it's kind of a star system which we use normally at Christmas time with as a lantern, and that's quite interesting to see. So this is a formation which seems to happen around when they are stored in geometric objects. And when I did the view just on the liquid Ormus, I had only a small amount of these crystals visible. And now after I tried, more of these crystals have been formed. So there's a formation process in the drying structure, but also starting already in a liquid form. But it seems to be, so if you look from a potential point of view, if we assume that that is a powerful substance, maybe that is a white gold, I don't know, then the dried form of Ormus would be the more potent potion to use. To conclude now this short video, I want to show you some of the example of my completed experiment with the geometric objects I have done for my members. Here you see a salt crystal under the formation. So we have the pyramid shape, but we have also triangle shape. Let me zoom to some other part to show that. So we have nice the pyramid forms. Here some other examples. So they form quite nicely under the influence of geometric structures, and they also form a different pattern of the drying, let's say in the smaller parts of the grains and of the crystals. But it's quite nice to see. They're actually quite tall. So that concludes the little overview of my discovery so far with the influence of the different geometric objects on crystallization of liquid material and so on. Also the pH meter testing I have done is also very, very interesting. You should watch it. And I hope I will find you as members of my website that you can follow this interesting findings of my experiments. Thank you.